Welcome. This is First Cup. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Whoa, that was really cool right in front of this camera. That was unintentional. Perspective. That's really good and warm. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's, what is it, Monday, August 6th, and I have an eyelash stabbed me in the eyeball. Man, it was a good weekend. It was a really good weekend. I mentioned yesterday that I was going to be teaching at a Taekwondo event at the local fairgrounds, which is always just kind of funny because anytime you do martial arts in a place that you've eaten fried dough, it's kind of neat and weird. And I was teaching martial arts in a place that I've watched ox pulls. And for those of you that may not live in areas that are dominated by agriculture, that's when they hook oxen, aka we'll call them big cows, up to a sled and put a bunch of weight on it, and then they see if they can pull it. And yes, it is fun to watch. No, it's not that much fun to watch. But got a chance to work with several dozen Taekwondo practitioners, all ages, all ranks, and we kind of mushed parkour and Taekwondo together. It was a lot of fun. And I got some messages last night, people saying, hey, my legs don't work anymore. They were tired. What do we do? So whenever I work on movement stuff with martial artists, the number one thing I start with is how to land. Because we talk a lot about jumping in martial arts, we don't talk a lot about how to land. The idea of using the foot, the arch of the foot being the support rather than landing on your toes and worrying about your calf being the thing that does all the work, or landing on your heel, which is never a good idea because all that does is cascade the force up through your knee and hip and everything else. So I teach them how to land, and then we start working on spinning and jumping for height and jumping for distance. And depending on the equipment that we have, we'll start doing some different stuff. And so, like yesterday, there were bleachers. So I had them jumping from the bottom of the bleacher, and some of them even from the second row of bleachers onto mats. We had puzzle mats. And just had them doing a bunch of fun stuff. I had them for 90 minutes, which is great. Usually I only get to teach this group for about an hour. And you know it's a good session when the last 15 minutes or so, people are off on the sides watching because they don't want to leave, but they're so tired. And that's what happened. So that was great. Had a lot of fun. And what else did I do? I came home and did a little bit of work outside and brought what had been my home gym, at least most of it, dropped it off at some friends, sold it to them. They just bought a new house and wanted to set up their garage, and I haven't been using it. So gave them a good deal, and everybody's happy, and then stuck around, and we watched the last bit of the CrossFit Games. Congratulations to fellow Vermonter Matt Fraser for his third win in a row, and to Tia Claire Toomey from Australia for her second win in a row. It's a lot of fun. If you've never watched high-level CrossFit competition, but you're a fan of martial arts, I think you should check it out. I'm not saying that you necessarily should do CrossFit. I think you should at least consider it because I think there's a lot of synergy there. I've talked about that. I'll continue to talk about that because I continue to see it. But I think it's a great example of where I would love to see competitive martial arts, sport martial arts, go. I mean, there's so much done for the sake of the spectators. And it works well. And it's grown so fast. I mean, let's face it, when CBS Sports is showing CrossFit and nobody's showing martial arts competition, and yes, I know, ESPN2 does a rebroadcast of the US Open, highlights of the US Open. CBS shows everything from the CrossFit Games. Everything. We can get there, but there's a lot that we need to change, and nobody wants to change it. That's not true. I shouldn't say nobody. Not enough people want to change it at this point. I want to change it. What else? I went to the gym after. I was so fired up. Worked out. Came home, ate some food, went to bed. That was my Sunday. So, yeah. Had some... Thought I had my day planned out in one way. The day's got to change. Got some messages overnight. Some things have to happen. Some other things aren't happening. So, my day has shifted around. So once I'm done here, I got to figure out what that all means, what stays, what goes, what gets slid over to another day. And that can be a little tough for me on a Monday. I do best when I just kind of get to buckle down and do work. The nice thing about today is I don't have to go anywhere. I will be at my desk, or rather around here all day. I had this realization that I need to build a catalog system for all the samples, because there's a lot of them. There's so many, and there's more coming. And piling them is not good long term, because I know what's going to happen. There are going to be products that we want to develop, and how did this company do this again? How did this factory make this one? Who do we need to talk to? Who are our options for this, and this? I don't know. So, don't be afraid of organization. I think that's the lesson there. That's my lesson. I used to hide behind organization. I used to really force organization into my life, and if I've ever shown anyone my calendar, it's kind of insane. Not only do I plan out everything, I chronicle what I do. It's like a journal of the things that I do and when. And that's really effective too. Oh, I ever need to look back. When did I do that? Kind of a thing. But you can be too organized. You can be too rigid. And I went from that kind of to the other extreme, and now I'm finding some comfort in the middle. And that feels good. So my encouragement to you is to take a hard look at the way you look at things. Are you too rigid? Are you too loose? And that doesn't just have to be with life. That can be with your training. It can be with the way you move in martial arts. If you're too rigid as you move, you're not going to get enough speed to get any power. But if you're too loose and you hit something, not only will you not get any power, you could hurt yourself. So it's about finding that balance. And the only way you can find that balance is a bit of experimentation as you hone in on where to be. I find myself using this concept often. I used it yesterday as I was teaching, the idea that we have a lot of options, and as we experiment, as we train, as we do whatever, we narrow up because we're starting to find what not to do. And I think that that's really what life is, what not to do. So if we know the extremes of rigidity or flexibility or what not to do, mark yourself in on the spectrum. So that's all I got. I'm going to finish my coffee, see what's going on with the world, and then I'm going to be at my desk. So if any of you are waiting for emails from me, there we go. Expect those soon. All right. Hope everyone has a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.